validation services are there. Services. We have a form state validation, input state validation. So form state validation is nothing but form state validation. So form state validation is nothing but, so it validates all controls in a form simultaneously at the same time. All controls in the form are validated simultaneously at the same time. So, and these services are provided by ng form directive. So ng form directive will provide you some set of ng form module actually. ng form module. So it will provide all the services required for validating the form. Entire form is validated. Form state validation means before submitting the form, it verifies all controls at a time. All controls are verified at a time. That is form state validation. And what are the validation services available? So we will see them. Actually, we have a service and property and description. So what are the validation services, property and description? We have validation service ng pristine and properties pristine. That means we have to use as pristine. In the library it is available as ng pristine. Pristine, so it returns true. It returns true when form elements are never modified. It returns true when form elements are never modified. That means you opened the form, but you haven't made any changes in the form. That means no element in the form. No element in the form have changed its value. No element in the form have changed its value. That means you just opened the form and nothing happened. No modification happened. Just you opened the form and it is never modified. That means values not changed. So then it returns pristine. Pristine means you haven't done any modifications yet. Form is not modified yet. That is pristine. I will show you. ng dirty. That means this is dirty. So it returns true when any one field changed its value. Any one field changed its value. That means, so when form is modified, it will return true. That means whether form modified or not, you can identify by using dirty. These are all Boolean properties. Pristine means you opened the form, but no changes occurred. Dirty means some modification happened, That means any one field modified means it is dirty. Form is dirty. Any field modified. So we have ng valid. So that is used as valid. It returns true when all fields in form are valid. It returns true when all fields in the form are valid. All fields in the form are valid. That means no one field is invalid, right? Ng invalid. This is invalid. It returns true when any one field is invalid. When any one field is invalid. And ng submitted, and this is submitted. It returns true when form submitted. These are the basic form state validation services. Form state validation services. So let's see how we can manage them, how we can handle them. So what are these and how they work actually? So let's design this. To understand this, we need a simple form here. Actually, the validations all are HTML validation, means it makes use of HTML validation. So we will just create one component, ng generate component form validation. Okay, skip test equal to true. So let's keep the form validation in startup. Yeah. So now form validation is in startup. Form validation component. Let's keep this in the startup. Okay. And here form validation. Okay. Fine. So the form validation in the startup. So form validation is currently working. Okay. Let's design a simple UI. As we already know, we don't need to do much work in the controller. So form validation HTML. Okay. Okay, let's design a div. Container fluid. Okay. And here I'm defining a form. Okay. And we know how do we configure the form. So here a heading, registered user, form, FRM register, and it is referring to ng form. Okay. So inside this div, class as form group. Okay. And label as username. Okay. And here we have input div. Input type is equal to text. And here, so class form control. And one option we defined is required. Required is a general HTML validation. Okay. Now similar, I have another div. So class as form